Welcome back to Everyday Living. Today, we are looking at 10 tricks to get what you want from anyone. These techniques are based on research and can be incredibly effective when used ethically. Let's explore each one in detail and see how you can apply them in your everyday life. First up is reciprocity. This is the idea that people feel obligated to return favors. Think about a time when someone did something nice for you, like bringing you a coffee. Didn't you feel the urge to do something nice in return? This is reciprocity in action. You can use this to your advantage by offering something small first. For example, if you need a coworker's help with a project, start by offering to assist them with something. They'll feel more inclined to help you out later. This principle is powerful because it taps into our deep-seated sense of fairness and social obligation. Next is commitment and consistency. People like to be consistent with their previous actions and commitments. If you can get someone to agree to a small request, they are more likely to agree to a larger one later. For instance, imagine you're organizing a charity event. Start by asking people to sign a petition supporting your cause. Later, when you ask them to volunteer or donate, they're more likely to say yes because they've already shown support by signing the petition. This works because we like to think of ourselves as consistent and reliable. And once we commit to something small, it's easier to commit to something bigger. 3. Social proof. Social proof is another powerful tool. People tend to follow the actions of others, especially when they are uncertain. This is why testimonials and reviews are so influential. If you're trying to convince someone to try a new restaurant, telling them that it's highly rated on Yelp or that many of your friends love, it can be very persuasive. Social proof works because we naturally look to others for cues on how to behave, especially in unfamiliar situations. Highlighting how others have benefited from or agreed with your request can tip the scales in your favor. 4. Liking. Liking is a straightforward but often overlooked principle. People are more likely to comply with requests from those they like. Building rapport and finding common ground are key. For example, if you're trying to win over a new client, take the time to get to know them personally. Discover shared interests or common experiences. Compliment them genuinely and show enthusiasm for their ideas. When people feel a personal connection, they're much more inclined to say yes. This principle underscores the importance of building positive relationships and being genuinely likable. 5. The authority principle. The authority principle is all about demonstrating expertise and credibility. People respect authority figures and are more likely to follow their advice or comply with their requests. If you're trying to persuade someone, make sure to highlight your credentials and experience in the relevant area. For example, if you're giving health advice, mentioning your background as a certified nutritionist or fitness trainer can add significant weight to your suggestions. People are more likely to listen to someone they perceive as knowledgeable and trustworthy. 6. Scarcity. Scarcity taps into the fear of missing out. When something is perceived as rare or in limited supply, it becomes more desirable. Think about Black Friday sales or limited-time offers. They create a sense of urgency and drive people to act quickly. You can use this principle by highlighting the scarcity of what you're offering. For instance, if you're selling a product, mentioning that it's a limited edition or that there are only a few items left can prompt quicker decisions. Scarcity works because it creates a sense of urgency and increases perceived value. 7. The foot in the door technique. The foot in the door technique involves starting with a small request and then following up with a larger one. This technique is effective because agreeing to the small request creates a sense of commitment. For example, if you ask someone to sign up for a newsletter, they're more likely to agree to attend an event later. This method works by leveraging the initial compliance to build towards a bigger commitment. It's a gradual process of gaining agreement and can be very effective in building long-term cooperation. 8. The door in the face technique. The door in the face technique involves starting with a large request that is likely to be refused, followed by a smaller, more reasonable request. The smaller request then seems much more acceptable in comparison. For example, if you ask a friend to lend you $100 and they refuse, they might be more willing to lend you $20. This technique works because the contrast between the large and small requests makes the smaller request seem much more manageable. It plays on our natural tendency to want to appear reasonable and cooperative. 9. Mirroring. Mirroring is a subtle but powerful technique that involves mimicking the body language, tone, and behavior of the person you are trying to influence. This creates a sense of familiarity and rapport, making them more comfortable and more likely to say yes. For instance, if the person you're speaking to is leaning forward and speaking softly, you might mirror their posture and tone. This can build a subconscious connection and increase their openness to your request. Mirroring works because it creates a sense of similarity and understanding. 10. Finally, we have anchoring. This involves setting a high initial standard or offer, which makes subsequent offers seem more reasonable by comparison. For example, if you're negotiating a salary, starting with a high initial figure can make your actual desired salary seem more reasonable. Anchoring works because the initial information provided serves as a reference point for all subsequent decisions. By setting the anchor high, you create a more favorable frame of reference for your requests. These psychological tricks can be incredibly effective when used ethically and responsibly. Remember, the goal is to positively influence and build mutually beneficial relationships, not to manipulate or deceive. If you found these tips helpful, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Everyday Living for more insights to improve your life. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.